Just finished up here in Sassnitz Sunday evening. Awesome week of racing. Saturday, Sunday brought great breeze to the fleet, fast racetrack, awesome viewing, and Sassnitz really showed up. You know, for us, it was kind of a tale of, you know, two different sides, a bit of a roller coaster. Definitely more ups and downs. We saw our team compete in 3 races, you know, a P3, a P9, and a P4, which is no easy task. Felt like, you know, they were really in the mix with the front of the grid, which is what we've been striving for all season. And then obviously we can't shy away from what happened in race 4. You know, a pretty nasty collision, obviously a big mistake by our team, and you know, left our F50 and the British F50, you know, on the sidelines for the final race of the day. Lucky nobody was hurt, and, you know, positive side, the Brits were able to get out on the racetrack today, and they had a heck of a day making the finals. We were, you know, kind of rooting for them to make sure they got out on the water, and then wanted to see them have a good day, which they did. You know, this is racing, and sometimes mistakes happen, and we certainly made a big one yesterday. But that being said, I think it was very obvious that we finally started to see that progress in the heavy wind, and that's what we've been after all season, and that was really exciting to see. So we can't wait to get back to Saint-Tropez. Our team and the SailGP Tech team are going to be working on our boat to make sure we're there in a couple weeks. But yeah, signing off here from Sassnitz. This is the Buckley Debrief. Call there was to come down 5. You know, 5 is just kind of a measurement unit that, you know, in terms of how we talk about how much helm to turn the boat one way or another. 5 is a pretty big evasive action. And, you know, what made that situation really tricky is Mark 1, the first leg of the course, that turning mark was right on the other side of Emirates GBR. So, you know, coming down and going behind GBR probably meant hitting that mark that just kind of appeared on the other side of them. So they were really trying to thread the needle there, and unfortunately clipped the back of GBR and just skirted by M1. Anytime you're involved in a collision, the first thing any team on the grid is trying to do is help the other team. We're all in this together. It's a small community. You know, there's 12 teams. All the parts are very customized. So the last thing any of us want to see is something that you did cause somebody else not to be able to compete. So I don't think it was anybody specific that, you know, made a decision, but it was certainly an easy decision for our entire team, and really happy to see those guys out on the water today. Sassnitz really delivered. It turned into a high-speed racetrack all week, which is always good for the fans, you know, here and on TV. You know, I think when we got here, it was a really quiet little quaint town, and we were all kind of wondering, how's this gonna work? What's the atmosphere gonna be like? But as every day went on, the momentum built, more fans came into town, the energy picked up, and it was just really amazing to see the energy in the grandstands on Saturday and today, the people, you know, waiting in line to get in. All of downtown was just, you know, people were just having a blast. And I think, you know, that's a really good sign for our league. It also took a lot of hard work. You know, the German team played a big role in this. Thomas Riedel and Tim Kriegelstein and Sebastian Vettel, they worked their butts off to bring our league to this small town, and probably took a pretty big risk on what that was gonna look like. But yeah, I think they nailed it, and sounds like we're going to be back for 2 more years at least, which is really exciting. So yeah, the German market showed up, and we can't wait to get back next year. The biggest positive that I can take away is I can sit here and I can look at you at home and tell you that we made progress. We made progress in race 1, in race 2, in race 3. Obviously, race 4 was a big mistake, but I think the feeling on our team is a little bit different this week. We're all very disappointed in not being able to race today, but we saw what level we can race at earlier in the day on Saturday, and that's really exciting. Progress will eventually lead to results, and we certainly want to move to the front of the pack. So yeah, I think we're excited with where we got to and where we can start off in Saint-Tropez in a few weeks.